Episode number 18. Let's go. Start the clock.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Standing ovation.
I appreciate it. Please, there's so much going on.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. I know you're all probably upset. You know what happened with Elon.
The breakup.
And Donald Trump. It's all over. And are you having a good Pride Month? Are you out there priding it up? Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Priding it up.
You know, I got to say, the richest man in the world and the most powerful man in the world, it's like Godzilla versus King Kong. If Godzilla was on ketamine and King Kong had a comb over. No, you know that. Elon and Trump, they had their own couple name, Elon.
Elon.
What happened this week, this has been brewing for a while, okay, people? And then they have this big, beautiful bill that's nothing but government bloat, which Elon tweeted out. He said it was a disgusting abomination.
Yeah.
And then Trump said, well, he has Trump derangement syndrome. And then Elon said, well, your tariffs are going to cause an erection.
Where's his mind?
And Trump said, well, you know what? Mars is a shithole planet. And then Elon put out, well, you know what? Think about this. Trump is in the Epstein files, and that's why they released it.
That was a bombshell.
Tomorrow, apparently, Elon is going to be coming by to the White House to pick up his CDs and the mixtape they made together. And Whitney Cummings is here.
What a name.
I have a sex robot. I'll give it to you for a steal. I will negotiate with you.
Now, especially, you had your own robot. You have Robot Whitney.
I do.
There's
Okay,
Robot
yeah.
Whitney.
There's nothing like her.
So, can you tell which is which? And this is what nobody warns you about. If you do get a robot in your likeness, what happens is that you age and they don't. So you end up having... You just have this bitch in your podcast studio that's just your former face. Half the time I take that quiz on a website that asks me if I'm a robot or not. Half the time I get the quiz wrong. I'm like,
Hell yeah.
Does a shadow of a bike count as a bike? Like, I don't even know. Why am I looking at a grainy photo of a crack house? Like, am I a robot? Like, we might already, we all know someone, me, who just scrolls like a robot, and you're sort of like, are we already there with our own flesh bodies at this point? It's hard to tell.
All right, I see you're not taking this seriously.
Okay, so I'll tell you, I'm one of those people, when you see a Roomba get, stuck under the couch, you're like, oh, buddy. And I have this robot, and everyone's like, where is she? I'm like, I would love to throw her away, but I can't. You see a face, and even when I leave the room, I'll do you want me to leave the TV on? I feel bad. So I think we project. So I of course, worry about the robots.
I'm afraid to insult it. I mean, I used to, swear at my car. I'm not proud of it, but I would talk to my...
Well, a car is a she. Fair.
What?
I think that's why guys yell at their cars so much.
Yeah. Well, the voice is a woman.
Why does it have to be a woman?
I didn't make the car.
No, I don't.
I would talk to it in a way I don't, because I've the inanimate object, in a way I don't in real life.
Totally.
Because it would say, you left your phone in the car. And I'm like, no, you dumb bitch, I did not. And now it's like I treat the car like I'm on a date and its father has money. So you had a baby. How does the baby fit?
Why are you looking down here? What were you looking at?
You look great. You don't look like you had a baby.
Thank you.
You look thinner than ever, actually.
Okay, thank you.
So how does the baby fit in with the robot? Does it debate?
My robot breastfed the baby, which was a big part of why. There's already microplastics in our breast milk. I figured it's probably safer.
You're raising it alone.
I'm co-parenting with a
okay.
complete stranger.
What? You serious?
Well, then they're not a stranger.
As soon as I had a kid, I was like, I need a gun now.
Yeah.
Not for myself, because I've got coyotes in my yard.
Right.
I've got coyotes everywhere. And before I had a kid, I was like, they coexist with us. Coyotes were here first. I'm in the coyotes' home. Now I'm like, let's make hats out of them. Let's make hats. Let's make coyote boots, coyote earrings out of their eyeballs. Like, it's just...
Do you take the kid on the road?
Because maybe I'm older, they are shocked I survived childbirth or something, but I don't know. I had a kid naturally 40 years old. I'm convinced it was a vaccine injury. I don't know, maybe girls mature faster than boys, but I now look at it, now that I have a kid, I'm like, who was putting boys and girls in a cage to study them? Like, who's maturing faster? Like, what are you, I don't know if we need this study. Like, you just start seeing things like, and Avril Lavigne has a new song out. And I called her and I was like, Avril Lavigne has a new song out. You know, going to her show is like one of our things. And she goes, Whitney, Avril Lavigne's been dead for 10 years. I feel like our algorithms are tearing us apart. Conspiracy theorists do think I'm like their leader.
And this is still the way you talk on the phone?
You know, it's actually a banana.
As long as we're comics, we will do this.
Well, have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, you. Thank you for coming by.
You're the best.
Hey! We sent in a guy who was as mean as he could be about it to look for all the bloat. And I see in the paper today, they're rehiring people. You're unfired.
Oh, God.
They're sending out the
real lesson here is people have been saying since the 19th century, we need to run the government like a business. The problem is government isn't a business.
Bingo.
No, it's not.
Like a Silicon Valley guy where you say, we're going to break everything and then rebuild it and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't work for large government bureaucracies. And you're absolutely right that the real money is in these big entitlement programs, that they do need to be reformed. By the way, the benefits you get on Social Security are far more than you pay into it. That's one of the reasons why it's going broke. But he said, anybody below 50, we're going to change the structure of this.
They also got to talk about declining birth rates. Americans, a lot of people throughout the world aren't having as many kids as they used to. So if you got a very large aging population and not no one to replace those people, as far as paying in goes.
Donald Trump does not give a rat's ass about trimming entitlements.
They never did. That's not just Donald Trump. They never did.
At least they lied about it, right?
At least they lied about it, yes. At least they lied
about it.
You're
At least.
Remember, we were all going to get $5,000 checks? Give me a break. It was Bill Gates who took a look at it and honestly said, the richest man in the world is killing the poorest children in the world. And what does that get anyone? It only hurts humanity.
Well, I have more. They have a truck already that drove 1,200 miles. It didn't. Waymo did.
Yeah.
And this is, there's like 3.5 million truckers. And this is also going to be Uber drivers, and they're all going to be Waymo, and it's going to be Waymo misery.
Yeah, about one in 10.
No one's going to have a job.
The thing that scares me most about the AI stuff isn't that AI is going to run our lives. It's that the people who think AI should run our lives will make the case that AI should run our lives, right? The people who want to turn it into a cult thing and hand us over to robots are going to get too much power. That said, the history of technology has always been disruptive. This country...
Not like this.
I like this.
Different. Biden had a program called the AI Safety Institution. Howard Lutnick, he's the Commerce Secretary, he says, quote, we're not going to regulate it. He's changed the title. Now it's the Center for AI Innovation. You see, they're just going to...
Entry-level jobs, a lot of, like, scut jobs, if you're a paralegal, if you do that kind of, like, document review kind of thing, AI's coming for your job.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean that increased productivity doesn't translate into new jobs and new things being created. These companies are adopting AI to produce something, right? That is mean
money. That's money. Yeah, fire workers make more money. That's what they're producing.
That's right.
And then that money...
At some point, no matter what, there's going to have to be some kind of basic income. And that money should come from those companies that use AI or robots, tax them, for them to have at least the basic necessities.
This is not a typical job.
Sure.
Okay, let's not put me into the mix here.
Okay.
You're right. I hope I will not be replaced by AI. It already can write jokes. They're just not fucking good. Okay.
I agree with that.
They're not that bad, too. Right now, people are putting out videos from VO3 of sitcoms, quick jokes. They're pretty funny. They're not as funny as a real comedian, a comedic writer, but they're still pretty funny.
In Touch magazine. This is the
Jonah's favorite.
This is the last issue. I mean, I saw this. It's going out of business. That we all grew up on it. But there's a new magazine coming out called Out of Touch. I don't know if you've heard about
25 months on DVDs.
Really leaning into the fact, planning your plantation wedding. Oh, this is, these people are out of touch. Win an internship with P. Diddy. Oh, well, that's...
Oh, no.
Sexiest man alive, Bruce Jenner. Wow, that's... Can anything stop Beto O'Rourke? Well, that's...
Oh, man.
New York, New York, perfect destination for healthcare CEOs. Wow. Gene Hackman, where is he now? Okay.
Jesus.
Jihad, he said, was more important to him than his wife, his mother, and his children.
That should have been a red flag.
That's it.
Yeah.
If we're going to have big, large government bureaucracies doing things, it's to make distinctions for those kinds of things. And the system is just broken on that.
How about, at the very least, only take in women and children and elderly men?
When I saw the drone strike from Ukraine last week, if you missed this drone, the Ukrainians did something that was just way cooler than the Mission Impossible movie that's out now, which is about a year ago when they killed all the terrorists with beepers. Well, this really upped the game. They hid all these drones inside a truck, and then they came out the roof all on their own and destroyed the planes that Russia was using to bomb Ukraine. Not all of them, but plenty of them. And I thought, this really...
Good for Ukraine, man.
And it just puts the lie that we need all that defense contracting. Obviously, this is where the game is. Drones. They cost like $2,000 a piece. And we're spending $1 trillion on tanks and submarines and other things which we'll never use because they're already obsolete.
Ukraine didn't trust the United States enough to tell us about that. What does that say about our position in the world?
I don't think any ally would.
Good point.
That's just not the thing you tell other people.
Especially Trump.
You know, like Trump has always had this man crush on Putin. He loves his Musk. And
he's tariffed the whole entire world, except guess where?
Yeah.
Russia. So I'd love to say yes. He said, I think Putin's being crazy, but show me one thing he's actually done to hurt Vladimir Putin, and I'll throw a party.
Yeah, so and then what happened was Trump discovered that Putin is not actually Trump's bitch.
No.
And that
He's the guy who stole a Super Bowl ring off a guy's finger. Time for new rules.
New rule.
New rule, stop trying to help me understand how Kim Kardashian both is and isn't a lawyer.
Jury booty.
I don't know what's more depressing, the fact that there's an Instagram page dedicated to reviewing sticks.
3 million followers.
The fact that it has 3.2 million followers. Who make comments like, nice stick, bro. That's a good stick. And best stick I've seen in the last month.
They're just trolling.
Who just told Rolling Stone that she received psychedelic drug therapy, has an eating disorder, and is gender fluid. We get it. You have a new album coming out.
Yeah.
So good luck. But you're never going to beat I'm a Nazi and I sucked my cousin's dick.
And his album still flopped.
You need to feel he smokes pot on the air. I don't think he's that much of a far-right ideologue.
Yeah.
I don't think his mind is completely inflexible. His neck, yes. But not his mind. Elon tweeted this chart depicting how he felt about the liberal side having shifted so much that it left a basically liberal centrist like him now labeled a conservative. I related to the kind of mean girl shit you get from the cool kids in Wokeville when you're perceived that way. Elon has gone from saying, I love Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like they got that The Last of Us fungal infection and became zombies. Well, right now, it's the Republicans who are the very definition of drunk with power. and also sometimes just drunk.
Cheers to that.
That's what Democrats should pay attention to, because you know who's easy to beat in a fight? A drunk. Really, I've done it. Now, I was also drunk, so it was a draw. No one voted to deport moms. We were all under the impression we were just getting rid of the gangs. This is Carol.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dummies.
Yeah.
Remind me of that episode of The Simpsons where Homer thinks that Apu is an American citizen.
When those immigrants get deported, there'll be a lot more elbow room for regular Joes like you and me, Apu.
Mr. Simpson, it may astonish you to learn that I am an immigrant.
You? I don't believe it.
No, in truth, an illegal immigrant, sir.
Trump's big, beautiful budget cuts Medicaid by $723 billion. Steve Bannon says a lot of MAGA is on Medicaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. 42% of MAGA voters say Medicaid is important to them. Let's see if they miss it. All right, that's our show.
We'll see.
Jonah Goldberg, Stephanie Ruhle, and
They'll probably still love him anyway. All right. I will catch you on the next one, man.